Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. All right. Hi, everybody. We're going to, our goal is to maybe get to play that song at the end. All right. For those of you who have never played the guitar before, I'm just hoping to give you a few minutes of encouragement to get it out and just try make some sound with it. Okay, so a few things just to introduce you to the guitar. If you have a guitar, most of the time you'll see round sound holes, but this one doesn't have the big one. It just has a small sound hole. This is an Ovation. It's a electric acoustic. So whatever guitar you're playing with, as long as it has your strings and the board and then a neck, this is what we call the fretboard, and it kind of looks like a long neck, doesn't it? So, and at the end we have tuning pegs so that we can make the strings sound accurate to whatever pitch sound that they're designated to. So, and it's important to have decent sound when you're learning so that you can start to recognize the tones and what the chords are supposed to sound like. So I use a tuner. There's a few different ways that you can tune a guitar. This is probably the easier way to get started. It's a little tuner that you can put on the head of your guitar, and when you turn it on, you'll see it has red on this side if it's and as the tone increases or goes up in pitch, we have a green line in the middle and then yellow on the other side. The goal for this is to be able to see the green. The green is like go. That's like, okay, we've made it to the pitch. So if it's too much in the red or if it's too much over in the yellow, we've kind of gotten away from the right note or the right pitch. So just to give you an idea of the names of the strings and what we're going for, I learned a little saying that really helped me with the names of the strings. I learned Eddie 8, Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. So it's E for Eddie, A for 8, or 8 for 8, D for Dynamite, G for good, B for bye, and E again for Eddie. You notice we have a low E and a high E. And a lot of times they'll refer to the strings. The high string is what we call the first string. So this, as you're holding your guitar, your bottom string is going to be string number 1. All right? As you're coming from the bottom up, string number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 6-string guitar. So, and of course, don't let it confuse you. The little saying, Eddie 8, Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie, is going from the top down. But when they say the first string, that's going from the bottom up. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay? So now that you know the name of the strings, we're going to try to see that your guitar is in tune. So I use a little tuner that I can clamp on the head of my guitar by the pegs, and you can kind of turn this toward you so you can see the lights. And the goal is to have the tone of the string to reach into the green. Right now my guitar is saying E, and it's a little bit to the red, and of course when I talk it picks up the inflection of my voice too, so I'm not going to talk for a minute. So I'm going to turn the peg away from myself to have the tone go up. You hear that? It's a little bit too much, so I'm going to bring it back down. All right, now it's right on the green, so I'm really, really excited about that. So that's in tune. Then we would go on to the next string and we'd do the same thing for A, because right, Eddie, A, so A. And so it's telling me that it's in pitch. We would do that for all of the strings. And if this is, tuning takes a little while, so I don't expect you to get it overnight. So it's good to review and kind of get acquainted with the tuner. There's another way to tune the guitar. If we go and we count our frets, this is a fretboard, and you see these lines here, they divide the fretboard into frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on and so forth. So if you go to the 5th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the low string, if you hold that down and you pluck it, it should match the one below it. And if that's in tune, which it sounds pretty good, there's no like wobblies to make a vibration. If it's pretty smooth sounding, then you can go to the next one. And if it's just slightly off, we're still on the same fret, you could take that tune, make sure you've got the string that's connected. You can kind of follow the string where they're connected to the pegs. So this is the 1st string, and then this is the 2nd string, and the 3rd string. So if you find that that's a little bit off, we'll go back to the 5th fret. So I might take that string, that tuning peg, and turn it away from me a little bit to bring it up just a little bit. Just the pitch, just a little bit. Okay, now as we go down to it would be what we consider the 3rd string, we're going to be using the pegs on the bottom, and it'll be the one farthest away from them. You can follow the string all the way down to where the peg is. Okay, so here we are. We're checking to see how that sounds. Oh, sorry. That should be matching our 3rd string. Okay, now this peg, you're going to turn it toward you instead of away from you to go up. So a little different between the top and the bottom. Okay, so that sounded pretty good. Now, to tune the 2nd string from the bottom up, we move this one over and play this one against the 2nd string, and they should sound the same. If they're not right, then we'll tune them. So once again, you're using, for the 2nd string, you're using this peg. All right, so that's the only one that you're going to move over to the 4th fret. We're going back to the 5th fret for the top string, or for string number 1. So at the 5th fret, and those strings are sounding pretty good. If you want to kind of hear what it's like to bring it up, I just took it out of tune a little bit. See how it sounds kind of like just slightly wobbly? The vibration is kind of off. So I'm gonna take this peg and bring it down, pushing it, turning it away from me to bring it back into pitch. All right. So sounded pretty good to me. I'm going to turn my tuner off because you want to save your battery. All right. So we have a pretty good sound now. You can also tune it to the piano or to electric keyboard, and you always have a pure sound there too, to the notes, right? E, Eddie, 8, Dynamite, Goodbye, Eddie. So you can use those keys on the piano. All right, so we're going to talk about playing right from the beginning. Sometimes I like to get you started with just pretend you're shaking water off your hands like this to strum. Okay? Okay, we're not doing anything with this hand yet. All right, just pretend that way your arms relaxed, your hands moving moving in a motion that is comfortable and smooth, okay? And then pretend you have a pick in your hand, but put these two fingers together. We're gonna practice what we call the invisible pick strum. And here we go. Feel what the low strings sound like, and feel what the middle strings, hear what they sound like and feel what they feel like, and then the higher ones too. So once again, we're shaking off water off our hands using the invisible pick. When you're strumming, you want to make sure that you've got a nice even strum, or nice purposeful. So if we're keeping the beat to row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, our timing is important. So when we're strumming 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. So even just practicing just the strumming, that's one way to just get started, because that's probably one of the most important things, is to get the feel of the rhythm. I even get to my foot going sometimes to feel the rhythm. Get your whole body involved too. Music is involving the whole body. So in getting the idea of the rhythm, it's really important to get everything involved. Okay, but we want to get you started at least playing a chord. So I want to put your hand out here. Okay, like this. We're going to wave high. All right. And with this hand, we're going to use our index finger, our middle finger, and our ring finger together. And they're going to be the three friends that stay together. All right. And we're going to just experiment putting them on their tippy toes on the fretboard like this. Why don't you just practice doing this? See if you can make a sound without doing too much. Are you getting some sound out? All right, good, good. So that's half the battle. We got this strumming here, right? We're shaking water off our hands, and we're doing this. Kind of sounds cool. All right, we're not looking for perfection, but we're looking for just getting started, because that's half the battle. Okay, after you've done this a while, we're going to be a little more focused now. We're going to take the tips of those three fingers, and we're going to go on to the second fret. This is the second fret. And remember I said this is string number 1. Okay. We're going to go string number 1 with our ring finger on string number 1. String number 2 on the second string, or middle finger on string number 2. And then our first finger on string number 3. Okay, let's try that. So we're just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but we're gonna let them play, these friends play all together, okay? And we're gonna do our shaking. Try to feel the tiptoes of your fingers pressing into the strings, because you don't want the strings just not held down, because they'll sound muted like this. They're kind of a mute sound. So if you kind of press them in there, remember I had you practice tapping? So just tap them a little hard enough that you can press them down like that, okay? Okay, what we're playing right now is a D7 chord. It's kind of a cool chord. So we're gonna make that boat just nice and relaxing. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Kind of a nice jazz version of row your boat. Row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream. All right, so that's a D chord, and if we move our fingers up just one, so that all of the fingers are hopping up to the next string. So we have our ring finger on string number 2, our middle finger on string number 3, and our pointer finger on string number 4. That is an A chord. And once again, let's try that. See how that sounds. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down Good job. You know, just half the battle is getting in there and doing it, right? So I've got my A chord. With those two chords, you can actually play kind of a really cool sounding song, right? We can make Row, Row Your Boat sound really cool. Row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream. Now, moving back and forth between the chords is something to get used to. So I would suggest just practice either the D chord, that's probably the easiest because it's right on the bottom. Maybe just practice that D chord. And if you can, move up to the A chord and see if you can practice up, back and forth. And then take your guitar outside where a stream is running and you listen to the water and you strum these chords. Perfect setting. All right. Well, I hope you got a little bit of introduction to the guitar enough to help you get started. All right, until next time.